Socially,
So what is it in Hindi? Is
First of all, it's not caste, it's Varna. You know what Varna is?
I know.
You don't know. You don't know about the slavery.
what about
Varna, my friend, Varna means vocation. From Sanskrit, vocation, Varna.
what about Jati?
It's propaganda that was introduced, propaganda in the 19th century propaganda. You had a caste system.
What about
You had sati.
what about Jati?
This
What about
is
Jati?
propaganda.
What about Jati?
And you've fallen for propaganda.
No, it's all right.
You have. You've fallen propaganda.
What about Jati? Is that something which is caste?
There's a
Varna
caste
means
system, you know.
Varna
There are Shudra
Varna means
untouchable. I
vocation.
cannot believe him, you know. He's like
Varna
he's
means
rubbish.
vocation.
There is
From
untouchable.
Sanskrit.
There is untouchable, you know, and they are not allowed to untouchable, and they are not. What are you talking about?
Untouchables, they cannot get married without
untouchable, you know, and they are not allowed to.
consent, you know.
They are not allowed to come in the daytime.
If what you're saying is true,
Without getting paid.
if what you're saying is true, why does the Constitution of India make untouchability illegal?
They made it illegal. They made it illegal, but
Exactly.
it's not in practice. They've
If
made
India got independence, India got independence in
What saving
1947.
India
Why is it
is-
illegal under the
What saving
Constitution?
India is there? It's their
Why
constitution.
is it illegal?
They have
Who made it illegal?
Guys, why did you shout? You're just
Why is
standing
it
so close.
illegal?
No need to
They
shout.
Why is
I'm not shouting,
why
but
is
he's not.
I know,
why
you
is
both.
not letting me speak. If
Yeah,
you let me speak,
No.
I don't need to shout.
By the way, why did the Indian Constitution have a special clause in there for this lower caste to be treated equally? Is it because they were treated unequally? Good point.
What the Constitution was doing, what the Constitution was doing, was it was guaranteeing that India divided up into Varnas, which is different vocations.
By whom?
And by the way,
Who divided them into Varnas?
these are self-selecting vocations that communities specialize in.
No, but is it in the Hindu scriptures?
The Varna system
Yeah.
happened as a result of specialization. In Britain, in London today.
No, it's
we have-
is it a Vedic
Don't
philosophy?
interrupt me. Let me answer the question.
Yeah, but you were
in
insulting
London,
him just
in
now.
London, in London today,
Yeah.
you have people who specialize. So you have people, you have trades. Varna means trade. Is man's right. Well, very wise. So it means in Sanskrit a person who specializes. You're much more likely to be a good plumber if your parents were a plumber, especially before you had universities, before you had vocational colleges. You had to be an apprentice. In order to be an apprentice, the master who would teach you, the master plumber. Let me finish. Don't change the
What you
subject.
said is
Let me finish.
clear.
Let me
We are talking
finish.
about two
Let him
things.
finish
You don't
and then
like
we talk.
the truth
We are talking
because the
about two
truth
things,
is
you
different
know.
from the propaganda in your
It is no
mind.
propaganda.
You
are
don't
like,
want
know,
wisdom.
No, it's no wisdom.
It is.
You are
But a
just
master
negating
plumber.
the
Let me
you know,
finish.
reality,
Let
you
me
know.
finish.
You're not
Let me
accepting the
finish,
reality.
and you can speak. The master plumber would not teach a random person's son or daughter to be a plumber unless he was paid a high fee. Why would he do that? Because that person would compete with it. So for that person's son or daughter, they would teach them as an apprentice plumber for free. And that was the reason why you got families specializing in vocations. And the highest paid people in India were included the caste that were metal workers.
Common knowledge.
Yeah, but not,
It's common knowledge, yes.
But it's not
Metal
all their
workers.
life.
And the only
What
reason
about
why,
tell us about
the only,
untouchable.
let me
Tell us about
finish.
untouchable. You
The,
talk
the
about
so-called, your so-called untouchables included
tell
the
me.
metal workers.
Yeah.
The metal workers were once one of the richest communities in India, the metal workers. And their income collapsed. And their income didn't collapse because some Brahmin priest said they're untouchables, these are evil people. Their income collapsed because of industrialization. The metal goods were being made in factories. So those metal workers became extremely poor. The East India Company banned, let me finish, let me finish. The East India Company banned manufactured goods from India, and these metal workers and manufacturing workers became extremely poor. They became the poorest people in India.
India is the worst.
So what
place,
you're
okay?
saying is,
still
what you're saying,
untouchable are
what
not
you're
allowed
saying,
to enter in
what you're saying
Brahman's
is
temple.
completely
if
wrong.
If you enter in Brahman's
don't
temple,
have the
they
wisdom
just,
on
you know,
the topic.
They burn you alive.
Yeah, I know.
They burn you
Just
alive.
making up propaganda, my
Infanticide,
friend.
you
No, it's not propaganda. Have you read the?
propaganda.
Okay, now you have spoken a lot. Will you let us speak without
Sorry,
interrupting?
sorry.
Okay. Do you believe the Upanishads are something which is Hindu scriptures which they believe as a Shruti?
Upanishads are a part of a vast literature which no single human being could ever read. The Vedas,
Is it
the
a Hindu scripture?
Upanishads, and the other scriptures.
Is it a Hindu
These
scripture?
are millions of
I didn't ask
pages
you
of
how many they are.
literature.
I just asked you, are there Hindu scriptures which are credible according to the Hindus?
No, because
Upanishads.
they're not credible. Because,
Upanishads are not
because
credible.
I've read the Upanishads.
So which
The
scriptures
Upanishads,
are?
the
By the way, why
Upanishads and the
shouting?
Vedas
Can you have a civilized
do
conversation
not
without
have.
shouting?
The Upanishads include, for example, the Bhagavad Gita.
Okay.
The Bhagavad Gita is very close to Buddhism. Other parts of the Vedas and the Upanishads are very close to a more warlike religion, like, say, Islam, which is very warlike. So, different aspects
I
of
thought
the
Ashoka was
Vedas,
warlike.
the different
Ashoka
parts,
was a Hindu.
Different
He fought
parts,
wars.
Different parts of the Vedas have a different.
Okay, give me one
strand of
scripture.
belief.
Give me one
And that's
scripture.
why- let me finish. let
No,
me
no,
finish.
I just asked
That's
you one
why
question. You went
within the
into.
Vedas, you have many different sub-religions within the Vedas.
Are the
You
Vedas
have many
considered
different
Hindu
gods.
scriptures?
You have many
Are the
different gods
Vedas
within the
considered
Vedas.
Hindu scriptures?
The Vedas are considered a body of scriptures that you can choose to follow, and different wise men, different gurus as they
What's the
call
difference
them,
between a Shruti? Wait.
follow
Let's see if
different
you know the difference between
Vedas.
Shruti and Smriti. Do you know the difference between Shruti and Smriti? Because the Upanishads and the Vedas come under Shruti, which they have to follow, which cannot be changed, unlike the Smriti. If you read Manusmriti, that is where most of this caste, discriminations
wrong.
come from. If you read, that's the
The laws
reason.
of Manu,
Look.
the laws of Manu. is
I
what
let
you're
you speak.
talking
No, I let
about.
you speak. Allow me to speak
making
without
up
interrupting.
stuff.
Without interrupting.
You're
I did not.
making
No.
stuff
The reason,
And
doctor.
this is what we've
Wait.
been doing earlier
The
as well.
reason.
You're making stuff up.
You're interrupting. Bro, wait. Bro.
You don't have any sources.
Brother, wait. The reason.
You're repeating propaganda.
The reason, doctor.
19th century propaganda as if it's fact.
By the way, Upanishad.
I know what the sources are.
You're
From
behaving
where
like
your
strange person,
propaganda began. Anyway, let the
Habibi,
gentleman-
let me finish.
let the
The
gentleman-
Upanishads are not from the 19th century. They are not propaganda. They are Hindu scriptures.
Okay.
Wait. Let me finish without interrupting. I'll let you speak at least for 20 minutes or something.
No, you haven't.
I have.
About 3 or 4 minutes I've spoken.
Okay, so at least allow 3 or 4 minutes without interrupting. The Smriti and the Shruti, which you don't know the difference, and I'm sure you don't know. Otherwise, you wouldn't say the Upanishad something which they choose to follow. No, it is Upanishads and the Vedas are considered to be major texts of the Hindus, which they do take very seriously. Maybe you don't. I don't know.
Okay, you're changing now. You're jumping
No, I'm not.
around.
I'm talking about the
Must
scripture.
follow
We
or
are
take
talking
seriously.
about,
This is two very different things.
Okay, when you take something seriously, do you not follow it?
They are
Not
untouchable.
necessarily.
There's a huge
Okay.
population
So-
of
so-
untouchable
so-
in India.
Let me give you an illustration.
Brother, wait. No, but
Let
I
me
haven't
give you
finished
an
it. You didn't even give me
illustration.
1 minute.
Let me give you
You're
an
already
illustration.
interrupting
Let me
after
give
1
you-
minute.
No,
let me finish.
no.
I gave you. You said 3-4 minutes.
Don't jump onto
You did
separate
not-
points.
it's not
Don't
separate
jump-
points.
you are.
I
Let
use
me
the
address
scripture.
point, then you can come back.
Okay.
Let
Okay,
me-
so-
no, don't move
I will
on.
interrupt you then.
Whether
I
you
will
take
interrupt you.
something seriously.
I will interrupt you.
Okay,
I will
whether
interrupt you
you
if
take
you-
something seriously.
Okay, if you
or
don't
you
do this-
must follow it are
Okay.
two different things. I take, for example, the Quran very seriously.
No, you
Do
don't.
I literally follow everything in the Quran? Of course not. Nobody can follow every single thing in a book because nobody's perfect. So the point I'm basically making is that there's a vast literature in Hinduism, and I've listened to a lot of the literature, the Quran. I've sat in Regent's Park Mosque. I've been to Hindu temples, Christian churches, Buddhist temples as well for meditation, and I've learned something in all of them. Christianity, I love the Sermon on the Mount.
What's that got to do with the topic?
So the point I'm trying to make is this.
Is what?
The point I'm trying to make is this.
Do you have to believe in the scriptures or you don't?
Is
That's the question
that-
I asked you.
Is that I take a lot of
okay, let me
scriptures
tell
very
you, okay.
seriously,
Now I
but
got
I
this,
don't believe
I
that
got
I
the-
must follow them.
I
Okay,
got this
so
literally.
statistic.
Okay, which sampradaya of the Hindus do you follow? If you're a Hindu.
My friend,
You're in a different discussion.
I have
You are starting,
listened to a lot of the
I didn't ask you whom you
Upanishads,
listen.
the Upanishads.
I just asked you, which
And the Bhagavad
sampradaya do you
Gita.
follow?
And I believe that in the Bhagavad Gita, just as in the Quran,
Yeah.
and just as in the writings of the Buddha, and just as in the Bible of Christianity, that there's a lot of wisdom.
That wasn't my question.
And I've been very, very profoundly moved and influenced by that wisdom.
But are you a Hindu or not?
My friend, I've just given you my answer.
No.
That I'm
No, you haven't.
open-minded.
All you did was you
I'm
listened to X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, he doesn't
I just
accept
asked you,
truth.
are you a Hindu?
That's
Brother,
I
brother,
opened
wait.
my, I said,
But are you a Hindu
I
or you're
said-
not?
I
You
said
see, you want to answer the question.
you want to put
Because if
people
you
into
ask,
tribes.
no, I didn't.
You want to put people into tribes.
It's not a tribe. Hinduism is not a
Let
tribe.
me tell you something.
I
you know,
believe the
got
only
this,
tribe.
I got this status.
I believe
You are a
the
new
only
Hindu.
tribe.
Let me tell
You choose, you pick and choose based on your whims and desires.
In Tamil
Okay,
Nadu,
that's
there
the
was
reason.
Humanity's the tribe.
You pick and choose what your whims and desires are.
I do
Yes.
pick
Let me
and
explain
choose.
you.
So you're not a new Hindu.
Tamil
basically.
Nadu, there was
I do pick and choose.
in Tamil Nadu, there
all,
was
including Islam,
Tamil
the
Nadu-
best ideas from Islam.
So after reading all this, who do you think is God? You have read all the scriptures. So according to you,
He himself
because
is a God.
I don't know. Do you actually believe there is a God or you don't?
Okay, so the problem is you have to define what you mean by God because everyone has a different definition.
What's your definition?
You want me to define God?
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
We want to see
So-
where you actually stand.
Okay, there's a universe
There's a man who
around us.
stands for no one.
Okay, there's a universe that's all around us, yes? And this universe exists. I know I exist because I can feel things, see things, I know I exist. I see the universe all around me, so I believe, yeah, it probably exists. This is all real people in front of me.
Okay, go
Very
on.
good people. But then there's a big problem. Where does this existence come from? Why do I wake up in the morning? Life is a struggle. You know, life is a struggle to work, to strive, to live, to survive. Why do I go through all this effort? What's the purpose of it all? Who created me and why did they create me? And that also is linked to why was this universe all around us created? Is there a creator of this universe? Did the universe create itself?
Are you answering or asking?
I'm trying to do both.
No, but I asked you a simple
You have
question.
to ask
Can you
the
please?
question. You have to ask
Can you
the
please
question
answer the
before
question?
you
Who is
answer.
God according to you?
Okay.
Good.
So if we agree there's a universe that exists, then we have to know how did it get created?
Okay, go on.
Does it have a separate creator who created it? And do we call that creator God? And if that creator created the universe, that creator created all of you. And if it created all of you, then it will probably know why you should live. Why you wake up in the morning and you struggle to survive. You love your families, you love
You're giving
your
a
children.
lecture.
Well, that's why
My
we're
friend,
here.
I didn't ask you the purpose of life. I asked you.
That's why we're here.
No, I asked you, who is God?
Why are we here?
All I asked you is, what is God according
do
to
we
you?
die?
Can you please answer
So
that
what I'm
question?
trying to say is,
Yes. You're giving a
there
thesis
has to be a-
on why the purpose of your
there
life.
has to be a creator that created
Okay, so
us.
do you believe in God?
And that-
Yes or no?
Let me get.
Yeah,
one
please
step
get
at
there
a time.
quickly because
One
you're giving a
step at
lecture.
time. One
You're giving a
step at
lecture.
time.
Do you like the sound of your voice?
My friend,
You like the sound
do
of
you
your
like
voice?
the sound
don't
of
you?
your voice?
I like to answer based on the question I'm asked.
See, you're
Do you like to
insulting-
do
You're
that?
insulting me when I'm
change
trying
the
to
topic
speak.
from
How am I
one-
insulting
one
you?
stage-
All I said is, when
You change
somebody
the
asks you a
topic,
question,
you say-
give an answer to that.
When I
Don't
speak,
go about
you say
beating
you
the...
like the sound of your voice.
You
all
do
this kind
because
of stuff.
I asked you several times a simple question and you're beating it on the bush, not
I'm
answering the
not.
question.
I'm directly answering your question.
Are you?
By
Are
defining
you?
the question.
Also, wait,
Because
wait.
you start with a
So now you're saying my question is not well defined when I ask you, who is God according to you?
and I'm answering that
Which part?
because
Which part are you answering?
You have to define the question.
Which part have you not got?
If you talk in terms of God, we have to define what God
Okay, so
is.
that's what I asked
That's
you.
what I was
The
trying
term
to do.
God, the term
When I
God.
tried to do that, you kept interrupting, my
Okay,
friend.
so far you have
Then you
said
started
why,
insulting me.
who created the universe? The universe exists.
I
What is
think-
our purpose here? What has it got to do with who is God?
That is the central question, what the purpose is. That's why
If
everybody's
you can't
here.
answer, just say
Why
so.
are all these people here? Because they want to know what the purpose
What's the
is.
purpose?
Okay.
Do you have the answer?
No, the question is to you. Have you? If you don't have the answer, tell me and I'll answer you.
Just what's the purpose?
Just tell me, what is God according to you? Once
We
again.
want to know what the purpose of life is. And God is the thing connected with answering that question. When we go to a
Did I
religion,
ask you the purpose
when
of
we-
your existence?
When
No,
we,
I did
when
not
we
ask
go
that.
to a religion, and it could be Hinduism, the Vedas, it could be the Quran, Islam, Muhammad, and Allah, it could be Jesus and God, it could be Moses and Yahweh,
So you're not
or,
certain.
or it could be the Buddha.
So you're not
Or
certain.
it could be the Buddha.
So you're not certain.
When we go to those religions, we're not going there because we're saying, who is God? Let me do what he says, I'm his slave.
Why not?
That's
You
not
could
what
be.
that's not what we're
You
doing.
could be.
That's not what we're
How
really
do you know?
doing.
How do you know?
That's not
How
what
do you know?
we're really doing.
Because if
What we're really doing is we're saying, every day my life is a struggle. I wake up in the morning to stay alive, the work I do, the relationships I have to maintain. Why do I do all of this?
You see-
that's the reason why we want to know what is God? What created me?
Okay, so have you got the answer?
Why should I continue?
have
to
you
do
got the
what I
answer?
do?
This is like the fourth time. have you got the answer after seeking? Wait, after you started seeking all these directions, so far, have you got the answer who is God or not?
I'm trying to
Try
answer your
this.
question.
This is
I'm
like the
trying to answer your
fourth time you're trying.
You're repeating it.
Exactly, I'm repeating because you haven't answered
When you
yet.
answer a question, if you ask me, can you explain to me what gravity is? And I try to explain to you step by step. Here's time, here's a ruler, here's an apple, the apple falls, hits the ground, and step by step I explain what gravity is.
Yes.
And you keep interrupting me every time I say there's a ruler and there's a
No, you said you saw all these different religions.
If you keep interrupting
No.
me, you'll never
By the
learn
way,
what gravity
have
is.
you realized you interrupted me within the first minute? And then you get offended when I interrupt you, when you're not answering the question I asked you. Several times I asked you now. You wait. The reason you're smiling now is because you know that you haven't answered the question.
The
You're
reason
beating
I'm
it on the bush.
smiling is you keep saying answer the question,
You want to.
and you won't
know
let
what he
me
wants to
answer
do?
the question.
He wants to please everyone, so that he doesn't get put on the spot. Now he has been put on the spot
What's
to
wrong with
answer.
pleasing everyone?
Because you cannot.
Surely.
That is foolish.
But the truth doesn't please everyone.
No.
Accepting, like,
If everyone here knew what causes gravity,
If you try to
everyone
please
here knew
everyone,
what causes gravity,
if you
would that not please
No.
everyone here?
Gravity is different to
If
God.
everyone here knew what the purpose of life is, would that not please everyone?
Okay, shall I answer that without
If everyone
interrupting?
here knew the truth, would that not please
I
everyone?
told you think that everything
The
that you.
purpose of life is to try to please as many people as you can, not to upset them.
So you will have to lie then, in order to do that. Because there are many people who will not agree with everything that you say. So in order to please them, you'll have to lie
How
to
many
them.
people here disagree with 2 + 2 = 4?
What's that got to do
Put
with?
your hand up if you disagree.
What's that?
with 2
That is
+
got to
2
do with
= 4.
logic. Nobody says
Okay. So I've
logic is
proven
wrong.
that you're wrong on this point.
No. I said if you're proving.
Everybody
No.
agrees.
When you try to talk
Everybody
about
agrees.
religion, wait. When you talk about
Everybody
religion,
agrees
what
with
you have
you.
done now, you have gone from religion to maths. Two different
They're not
fields.
two different things. They're not two
Are they?
different things. They're
Okay,
not.
so what in mathematics? What is God?
In terms of mathematics.
Let's watch that. God.
Let's talk in terms of mathematics.
Yes, God.
What is
Make
God?
sure you involve God in that.
Creator. Do we agree that God is the creator?
Yes.
And in order to create anything, you have to start with something.
Something.
Yeah? You have to
thing?
start with something.
What thing?
In order to create anything, you have to start with something. Do
What
we
thing?
agree with that?
Why not ex nihilo?
So what do we start
Why
with?
not ex nihilo?
Okay, let's take 0.
Yes.
Let's say I want to create a proton and an electron. A proton has positive charge, it's a plus. An electron has
No answer
negative
again.
charge.
I asked where is the God in the
Minus
maths. He
1.
goes into a different tangent.
No, maths.
That's what he does. He
You
evades the
talked
question.
about maths.
He evades the
You
question.
asked about maths.
I said God in
And
maths.
God. I am talking about God.
God in maths.
So let's talk about the creator.
Are you talking about matter,
What?
material
What
world?
yes.
The material
What?
world. He's talking about the material world.
Yeah. But in terms of maths.
Yeah, but God doesn't need material to
so we're
create, does
talking
he?
about the creator. What created the universe? We define God as the creator. We define God as the creator of
cause.
the universe.
Do you agree with that, by the way?
God is the creator of the universe.
Okay, so
that's definitely
when you
one
say-
of the definitions.
Okay,
Yes.
when you say God is
So
the
let's look
creator,
at that.
no, wait.
Let's focus on it.
When you say God is the creator of the universe, you're assuming God exists.
That's one of the definitions. Let's focus on
No,
that one
not
right
less.
now.
Do you agree God
Let's focus
exists?
on
Do you agree God exists?
No, we're trying to show if it's possible.
Oh,
After that-
so it is still if it's possible that God exists.
Okay. So
Have you realized that? It's
we've
a
got
bit.
we've got a
you've got to read
negative, we've got a -1, and we've got a positive, a +1. Now, how do we create them out of nothing? If we start with a 0 and we split the 0 into 2 numbers, and those 2 numbers.
You can't split 0 in maths.
Let me finish.
You can never split 0 in maths.
Let me finish.
I don't know which maths is
Let me
doing.
finish. Let me finish.
Nice try.
Let me
0
finish.
into 2
Let me
numbers. Have you
finish.
realized that?
Let me
You
finish.
cannot
Let
in
me
mathematics
finish.
split
Let
0
me
into
finish,
anything.
my friend. Let me
0 is
finish.
nothing.
Let me finish, my
Go on.
friend.
You know how it feels now when you don't let me finish.
Let me finish.
Good.
You take your 0
Yeah.
and you split your 0.
You can't
into
split a 0.
Let me
You
finish.
cannot
Let me
split a
finish.
0.
Let me finish.
Remember, you know when you try to divide a
your
0, that's
zero.
what he means.
No.
You get an error.
No.
When you try to divide a 0, he doesn't know
Talking
maths,
about
this guy.
dividing by 0.
You can't divide 0. Because it
I'm
doesn't
talking
exist.
about
Zero
you
isn't
split
zero.
your zero.
You can't divide a zero.
Let me finish.
Splitting means
Why are you
divide.
interrupting? Why are you
Because your maths is wrong.
You won't let the answer be heard.
You never answer anything.
The
You
answer
go about
is
beating it on the
you
bush.
split your zero
Yes.
into +1 and -1.
You cannot split it
You're
into
talking
zero.
about direction.
You can
Plus
never
one-
split a zero into
because
+1 and -1. You cannot.
-1 equals 0.
You cannot split a zero.
+1 -1 equals 0, yes or no?
No, but you cannot split a zero. Yes or no?
It's international.
Yes or no?
Yes or no? You cannot split a zero.
all languages.
You wouldn't answer my question.
You talked about how do
Okay,
you
so it's
get
got
God
nothing
from
with God.
maths.
Have you
How
realized
do you
that?
get God
So
from
once
maths? I've
again,
just
he said
proven
nothing
how
about
you
God.
get God from
Okay,
maths.
and by the way, he said
Get from God from
earlier,
maths.
this guy, you know the
I
discussion.
think
Wait,
you do.
wait, the discussion.
You can split zero.
+1, +1,
Yeah, you can split zero.
-1.
Oh, look what we got.
+1,
Error.
+1, -1.
That's what I told
equals
him.
0. No, no, no.
You know
let
why?
me do the
You know why he's talking?
Let me do a
You said divide
calculation.
0 by 0.
No, I didn't say
Yes,
that.
you
He
said split
that.
zero.
Look,
You said
look,
split
look,
zero.
look,
Show it to the
look.
camera.
+1,
He didn't say that.
+1,
No, it's a zero.
+1 minus
But there is no
1
one.
equals
There is no
0.
one there. There
Plus
is
one
no
minus
one.
one.
You got zero.
No,
No error.
you said split the zero.
No error.
Okay.
No error.
Did you say split the zero?
No error.
Did you say split the
I
zero?
said split 0.
Exactly.
Into +1,
Try splitting the zero.
+1 and -1.
Okay. If you split
I
zero,
didn't say
wait, wait.
divide it. I said split
No, no. You
it.
said when you split it, you don't get
Split
+1.
zero. Split 0.
When you split
into
zero, you don't get
+1
+1.
and
No, you
-1.
don't get it. Okay.
fact
So where
is-
is God still?
the
I
fact
still don't
is-
see the God.
the
Where's the God?
fact is, You said, how do you get God from
Okay.
maths?
You know
I
earlier,
said-
because
I
he's not
said-
listening to us, I'm not going
I
to listen to
said
him. You know earlier, he
Can
said
we do pass the
that
God argument? Can we go back to
the
India?
caste system
That
is,
gives you your
you know where he was lying about the
Positive
Varna?
proton
The
and
Varna in the
negative
Hinduism
electron.
is called Jati.
Can we
He
go
did
back
not
to
want to
India?
indulge in that. And Upanishads, it says, wait.
I don't want to debate.
No, I don't
now.
want to, because you don't
You've lost
listen. You
the
don't
debate.
listen
You are
to it.
dishonest.
lost
You
the
know.
debate.
Okay. Now, the reason I'm not
You
talking
lost
to
the
him is
debate.
because he does not answer any questions.
lost
The,
the
the reason he didn't want to indulge in the Upanishads is this. It says in Chandagya Upanishad, number 5 times 7. It says, now people, now listen to me, I'll listen to you. Now people here whose behavior is pleasant can expect to enter pleasant womb, like the Brahmin, the Kshatriya, or the Vaishya caste. But people of foul behavior cannot expect to enter enter only a foul womb, like the dog or a pig or the untouchable caste Chandana. So the caste system is called the Jati, which he tried to say is actually the Varnas. No, they are not based on the occupation. In their Upanishads, with the scripture, wait, long before the English came, long before the Muslims came, this particular book was already there. The reason he wanted to throw it under the bus is because it doesn't agree with his own narration. You know why this guy talks a lot? Because he doesn't want to answer the question. I asked him. No, it was about
You're
caste
changing
system.
the subject.
It was about caste
You're
system.
I got statistic for female infanticide. Okay,
you're changing the
15 in
subject.
2021.
I did not change the subject.
In 2021, 15 people, 15
15 out of
female
1.6
in
billion.
Tamil Nadu, just 15 in Tamil
15
Nadu.
people out of what? 100
10 in
Continue,
Andhra
continue
Pradesh.
speaking, continue speaking.
10 in Andhra
You have
Pradesh.
female
15
infanticide in all
15 in
countries
Tamil
in the
Nadu. Rajasthan is 7. You know, Madhya Pradesh is 6. It's all
6
together.
people. 6 people out of
6 child
120
is,
million.
even one child is like a, is a human. What are you
120
talking
million.
about? If they kill one child, one infant is, for you it's nothing. What are you talking about,
my
man?
friend, you said that
There is
millions
still
of people
untouchable.
you
There is a
said-
caste system,
you
worse
said-
caste system.
You said there were
and there
millions
is
of people experiencing infanticide, and you're talking
Millions
about
of-
6 people.
millions of
6
people.
people out of
Come on,
120
you
million.
just, you are lying.
in
You
Uttar
didn't even
Pradesh.
listen to
Tamil
brother.
Nadu
I'm trying to talk to you
Tamil Nadu
nicely,
is
but
50 million.
you refuse
Tamil
to.
Nadu is 50 million people.
You refuse to debate
Okay.
with a person
So the fact
nicely,
is,
You
the
just
fact
Yeah,
is,
because he doesn't answer
what
the
you're
question.
talking about by
Okay.
your own
By the way,
figures is extremely rare.
Maybe he doesn't. How many people died in COVID in India? Guess. Just give a rough guess.
The overall rate of mortality in
He won't answer.
2020.
See, he will never answer the question.
I am answering.
No,
You
you're
won't
not.
let me
You're not.
answer.
You're not. You're talking about
The overall rate of
So in India,
mortality
millions died during the COVID.
didn't-
Millions
didn't-
during the COVID.
millions
You know what?
die every
You know.
year.
Wait.
The population of the country is
Read
1.6
this.
billion.
Read this.
How many died in
Read this.
Britain of COVID?
It says here, caste kills more in India than coronavirus. Okay, so it's not 6. It's not 6. It's millions.
Caste kill someone.
Caste system.
How can a caste system kill someone?
Because the caste they discriminate.
That's a job.
No, according to you, that's a lie.
No.
It's not a job. No.
It
The
is a
the reason they kill the
It is a
untouchables.
job.
Why does the job have to discriminate based on touching? Why do they become untouchables if it's not a job?
Okay.
You know earlier what he said?
Okay,
He said because they were metal, they're
okay.
working in metal, they become untouchable.
Okay.
Look at the absurdity of this man. He lives under a rock. If he thinks he's going to deny what happens in India, the caste system kills more than coronavirus. This is the
Okay.
Deccan Chronicle.
So you've got some random website.
Deccan Chronicle
So,
is not
so
random.
what website is that?
Deccan Chronicle. It's
So
a-
so you
it's a
you've
news-
got
it's
so
a news
you've got-
website.
so you've got
It's an
one
Indian
random
newspaper.
website.
How many do you need?
Okay.
Indian
How many do you need?
Okay, what caused COVID-19?
Oh, go changing the topic. Changing the topic. That's what you call changing the topic.
You know,
COVID-19
we don't want to bang our head, you know,
COVID-19 was created in a lab. COVID-19
do
was
something.
created in a
Go
lab.
and just take paracetamol and calm
Well,
down.
COVID-19
Your brain is
You know, now that he's lost the
COVID-19
argument, he's
was
changing the
created in
topic.
a lab.
Okay, do you believe it? Do you believe Reuters is...
Was
No, is-
COVID-19
wait. Is Reuters...
No, well, no, on COVID-19,
No,
I
wait.
don't believe a
Hold
word
on.
Reuters say.
No, I'm not saying
On
about COVID.
COVID-19.
I'm not talking about COVID-19.
COVID-19 was total propaganda, by the way.
Who's talking about it? He's changing the topic.
Nobody believes in COVID-19 today.
Is there any
This is the
newspaper...
worst possible source you can have.
Okay, is any newspaper...
COVID-19 was a hoax.
Is any newspaper, according to you,
And he
credible?
believes the hoax of COVID-19.
I didn't talk about COVID-19. I said it
If
killed
you
more
believe the
people.
hoax,
We are not interested
you'll
about
believe the
that.
other hoax
We are
like
not
Sati
interested.
and
Is that-
the caste system.
Actually,
Those
Sati-
are hoaxes too.
No, Sati was real. It wasn't hoax.
He quotes the COVID-19 hoax.
No, I compared it with
Justice
COVID.
Brigade.
I didn't tell you.
COVID-19 admitted fact. Every organization in the world created in a lab.
Okay.
Biological weapon created in a
Don't change the
lab.
topic because you lost.
It's a hoax.
Is there any newspaper
What is
you
a
believe
hoax?
in?
Define
No,
to me what
is
a
there
hoax
any
is.
newspaper you
Define to
believe?
me what a hoax is.
You are one
What's a
hoax, like you.
Okay, are the moon landings real?
Oh,
Did
there
they
you go.
really
This
to
guy
the
is a
moon?
conspirator.
Okay,
He believes
okay,
in conspiracy
okay,
theories.
Okay, tell me now,
Now,
they really went
okay,
to
you
the
know,
moon.
since you don't answer any question, let me ask you.
NASA goes
Brother,
to the moon.
according to him, no newspaper
there are
is
no
credible.
hoaxes.
So Reuters is
there
not
are
a
no
credible
hoaxes.
newspaper.
Did
BBC...
Reuters say we went to the moon?
By the way, stop touching me.
Did Reuters say we
I don't want
went
to talk
the
to
moon?
you because you don't answer any
Okay,
questions.
okay, so you've got a hoax.
You know why? You know why he doesn't
Talk to
answer
your
any
friend.
question? Because he doesn't actually believe anything that is real. Like for example, the caste
So the
system in
moon
India
landings are
is
real.
pretty real. He doesn't believe in it.
COVID-19 is
Okay?
real.
He doesn't believe. I
Is
told you I'm not talking to
COVID-19
you.
real?
Which part you didn't get? Okay? So he says
You're
in
quoting hoaxes.
none of the newspapers
Published
according to him
hoaxes
is
on the
real.
internet.
In India, the more caste.
Nobody
because
believes
of
in Britain
caste,
we went to the moon.
because of
And
caste,
nobody
even if they
today
touch,
believes COVID-19
even if they touch that
wasn't
God's
created in a
idol,
lab.
the lower caste they get killed. This is the caste system.
So what are you saying about the caste system?
I'm saying the caste system is pretty real in India. There are people who die because of the caste system. The reason the constitution has a special clause for protection of the scheduled caste is because of this. Because of this reason, that the Hindus used to discriminate them based on which family they were born in. And that is the reason I just read in Upanishads, which he just pushed under the bus.
Do you disagree with that?
Yeah, I do disagree.
See what I mean? Based on his whims and desires.
What I disagreed with.
Is the Rishi
What,
Sunak
this is, let,
Britain
no,
Prime
let's
Minister
stop
or not?
interrupting.
Do
Stop
you agree or do you
interrupting,
disagree?
Stop interrupting.
Rishi
What I
Sunak is
tried
a
to
Prime Minister
explain-
or not?
Stop,
Because you don't listen
stop.
to brother.
He doesn't listen to any
You're beating around the bush.
You
We
want-
don't
you
want
want
to
to-
we are not interested.
what
Just
the answer
we are
I
not
gave
interested, you know.
was this: that in these so-called untouchable castes, you had some of the poorest people in India, and India used to be the richest country in the world. And the reason why,
Thanks to the Mughals.
by 1947, it was the poorest country in the world. It was
After
is
the British took
because
over.
the Industrial Revolution meant many of the manufactured tradesmen in India lost their jobs because of industrialization.
They destroyed the cotton trade.
And those people are your so-called untouchable people.
No.
Those
Hold
are
on,
the
hold on.
people.
The reason
who
the
became-
industries were destroyed was
those are
because of the
people-
colonialists.
Those are the
East
people who
India,
became-
the East India Company,
Those
they
are the
colonized
people-
this
Yes.
trade. What they
Yes.
used to do, you know, they
They
used to
did.
fill the market
Yes.
with the products that came from Britain.
Yes,
and
that's
they
true.
used to take the cotton from India, take it to Britain, and then sell it back to the Indians. That is the
That's
reason.
true.
It's got nothing to do with the
And
caste
Mahatma
system.
Gandhi
That is
was
a lie.
opposed to that.
He's agreeing with that.
I
What?
agree with that.
So what is going to do with caste system?
So you've just,
What is that
you've
going to
just
do with
told
caste
me
system?
my answer.
What?
The answer I gave was that the manufactured tradesmen of India were banned from doing their jobs.
But what's
They
that got to do
became-
with caste
They
system?
became extremely poor.
so he's asking, what's
So
that
you're
got to do with-
so-called...
It's got
you're
nothing to do with the
so-called-
untouchables.
You're so-called unemployed people in India who were extremely poor were all these hundreds of millions of people
That was the
who
cause.
couldn't do their vocations.
That's because of the colonial.
So
It's got
he's saying
nothing.
that was the
No,
Because
no,
of
no.
colonialism.
The caste
Because of
system.
the East India
Hold on, hold
Company.
on. The caste system existed
You're
long before.
blaming the wrong
See, one guy,
culprit.
let me get a word in. What kind of a person are you? Well, you want to talk? No, you're not.
You are talking.
You will not let
non-stop.
anyone talk, and that's the reason I
You
will
are
talk to you.
talking
Okay.
non-stop.
No, you are the one talking non-stop.
You're
Go and
talking
watch the video.
non-stop.
This is on Dawah
You are
and the other
talking
channels.
non-stop.
Okay.
It's been there for ages,
Now,
you know.
you see the
What I
caste
understood
system.
from his
The
argument,
caste system.
the caste system
You know, the,
existed before
yeah,
the
yeah.
British
The
government.
Upanishads,
It's been
the
ages.
Upanishads
It's
existed
been
long
ages, you
before
know.
the Brits
Alright, so
and the
He's
Mughals came.
talking the Upanishads that I've done, certainly
So
the
do you
ones
have-
I've listened to.
and there's-
Don't mention
I give you the
any
reference.
caste.
I give you
The
the reference.
Upanishads I've
See,
listened
again,
to.
he won't let me talk.
The Upanishads
And that is
I've
the reason I
listened
don't
to.
talk to him, because he won't let
Brahmin,
anyone
what
talk.
about Kashtriya?
What about
And the
Kashtriya?
book he's talking
What
about
You know the-
is the laws of Manu.
Exactly.
That's the one he's talking
No,
about.
I talk about the Upanishads as
the
well.
one. No, you didn't.
Don't
This
lie,
is
I
the
did
ones,
several
the
times.
Upanishads
It's
that
on the camera. It's on, so the cameras don't lie like you.
You quoted the laws of Manu.
No, I didn't even quote the laws of
Manu.
Manu. I kept on about the Upanishads, and you pushed it under the bus. Remember initially?
No,
You didn't know the difference between Suti and Smriti.
You
Is
quoted.
there evidence the caste system
Existed before. Yes, there is.
Was it discriminatory?
It was very
There's a big
discriminating.
dispute about that.
Where no?
Big
Oh, now there's a dispute.
There is a
Earlier you said it's only the Varna. It is only based on the
He
careers.
said,
Now he's
was
made
it
a U-turn.
What did the historian say?
The historians
This was sleeping there,
basically,
according to him, you know.
basically state prior to the collapse of the trades, the manufacturing trades in India,
that came
it was
later
the
on.
richest country in the world.
That
It
was during
became
the Mughal
poor-
era.
So if these
was
people,
during the Mughal era.
if these people are so discriminated against, why are they the richest people on the planet?
Because of the Mughal system.
It's been
Okay, look here, brother.
Why are they the richest people on the
Can
planet?
you let
if they're
anybody
being
else have a
discriminated
word in
against?
between? Stop. Okay, you said
You're
it's
wrong.
No, before I
agree
even
with
said
you.
it. No, you haven't.
agreed with me.
No,
They're
no,
the
no,
richest
no.
people on the
Alright,
planet.
so, okay, so let's
So how can they be the richest
Let's
people
move
on the
on.
planet
The
if
richest-
they're being discriminated
Let's agree
against?
to disagree. We
You're
don't
wrong.
need-
No, we'll not agree. The richest people,
You're
India
confusing
became the richest
propaganda
country
with truth.
during the Mughal era. Not during the caste system which existed long before the Mughal era as well. The Upanishads.
India was the richest country in the world for about 5,000 years.
Oh really? When was the last time you got that statistic?
Even,
Where's the evidence?
even,
the evidence for that?
according to Roman
why you cannot
historians,
enter the
according to Roman
Brahmin
historians,
temple, you know?
India was the
Which
richest
historian?
countries in the world.
Which historian?
But India was why there is
Talk.
I will
I will vote. You lost. You know why? You know why he makes up things when he loses?
So, you know, under
He
Mughal
won't let
rule,
anyone talk, and he makes up things.
Pliny the Elder is one of the historians that references India as being one of the richest countries in
And
the
when
world.
did Pliny
Do you have
exist?
it- do you have
When
it?
did Pliny exist?
Pliny the Elder was around the time of Pompeii, when Pompeii collapsed.
Yeah, which year?
Oh, do you
Which
have
year?
any contention?
So if you look up Pompeii, the Vesuvius.
No. Was
What
it
about
5,000 years?
Under Mughal rule.
Was it
About
5,000 years?
2,000
Oh,
years.
now Pliny is 2,000 years. His argument
Pliny
of 5,000
is one
years.
of the sources.
So it wasn't 5,000 years. So you lied
It
again.
is 5,000
You got caught on
years.
camera again.
So he's saying
I said for 5,000 years.
But
it
where's
was
the
one of
evidence for
richest countries.
5,000 years? Where? Where's the evidence?
man.
The Harappan civilization, my friend. There's no any
The Harappans were not
going
Hindus.
with this.
They were not Hindu.
Yes, they were.
They were Aryan. They were not Hindu. What kind of a person are you?
Why is Shiva in the Harappan civilization the single biggest figure found that's dug up from the ground?
Where's the evidence for that?
Shiva.
Where's the evidence
Go
for
to a
that?
museum in Pakistan.
No,
you'll
you should
see.
show me the evidence.
Go to some museums in Pakistan.
Have you
you'll
been?
see
Have
it.
you been there?
I've read books on it.
Okay,
I've seen
so tell me, which year was this Shiva statue found?
The Shiva statues are found dated from between 2,500 BC.
Where is
going
this?
right the way
Where
up,
is this evidence?
Going right in
Where
the
is the
museums
evidence?
in Pakistan. You have
Which
this
museum? Give me a name.
Mohenjo-daro. The museum on Mohenjo-daro. There's a museum on
talking
This
Harappa.
guy, you know, this guy is a charlatan. You know why? Because Mohenjo-daro is not a Hindu place. Neither was the Harappan. You
So why
lied.
is Shiva there? Why is Shiva
There is
there?
no Shiva there. You
There
made
is
it up.
Shiva there.
Evidence. Prove
There
your.
is Shiva
So
there.
bring evidence.
There are large numbers
You
of
are just
statues
making
of
up
Shiva
things. You're a charlatan.
that are dug up
You're
in these
making.
locations.
You're just lying. You know, look. I don't want to embarrass you in front of the camera, but I'm telling in your face that you just lied.
You are not a modern day
All the
problem.
people here
India
can fact check what I'm
are a
saying.
modern day problem. And
You
are
said,
accepting that.
you said
don't try
that
to
it
shift.
wasn't
Don't
for
try to shift.
5,000 years.
Don't try to
one
shift.
of the richest countries in the world.
not-
I've proven it.
No,
was.
no, no Shiva
I've
statue.
proven it was.
No, you
I
haven't.
provided sources.
No, you didn't.
So please
You
accept
just said
that
a
you were
name.
wrong.
You just said name.
Please accept that you are
Please
wrong.
accept this, though.
Indians are
If-
still
if-
in your form.
if the
There's no
caste
Shiva
system-
statue
illiterate.
If
in
the
the
caste
Harapan.
system
They sort-
discriminated against them, why were they the richest people
They are
in
not
the
richest.
world?
Who said they are richest?
By the
Why were they
way,
the
you know,
richest
in the
people?
Harapan, they did not find a
got it
Shiva
wrong, my
statue.
friend.
Wait,
Admit when you're
in the
wrong.
Harapan, they did not find
I
a brother.
make
Brother, wait.
mistakes too.
They did
When you
not
get it
find
wrong,
a
admit
Shiva
that you were
statue.
wrong.
They found a dancing
swallow
girl,
propaganda.
not Shiva. He's
You
lying.
swallow
This
propaganda.
guy is a charlatan. He's trying to
Respect
start
that your
smart.
ancestors
So
worshipped
you,
Shiva.
my sisters, how do you know that?
If you have a connection with
Ah,
Pakistan,
but I don't.
ancestors worshipped
But I
Shiva.
don't. So you're lying.
And that's why
Once
you're a
again,
great person.
the reason he said Shiva because he has no evidence. All he's
Go
saying
to
is
some museums in Pakistan. You'll see
the onus is
evidence.
on you.
We are not talking
The
about
onus
rich
is on you.
people,
Provide
we are-
evidence.
We are talking about.
By the way, do you know
We are talking about who's rich or not rich.
he's making up things.
We are talking
The
about.
Harappan, you know, the Harappan has got nothing to do with Hindus. The Mohenjo-daro has got nothing to do with Hindus. They are the Aryan. These were Aryans who had their own religion. They found a dancing girl there. It's got nothing to do.
Aryan is
It's got
just the word
nothing.
for Indo-European.
No. Exactly. So
All
it could, but
Pakistanis
not
are
Hindu.
Indo-European.
But not Hindu.
All
He
Pakistanis
said-
are Indo-European.
But you said Shiva. It's got nothing to do with Hindu.
Shiva was the god that was dug up in Harappa.
Is
and
Shiva
Mohenjo-daro.
Indo-European? Is Shiva Indo-European? No, it's not.
He's a god.
So where's the evidence for that God?
If the god is physically dug up as a statue.
Bro, you're just making up things. Please stop embarrassing yourself
they-
because all you
they
did was
got
all you did was just
My friend, I've read
Pew.
books on the topic.
yeah, but you don't know who God is.
Do you have an open mind?
You are,
I do.
No.
Okay.
No,
I'm
it's
glad
not about.
to
It's
hear.
not about command.
Do you?
Okay?
By the way, do you
are
think the
drifting
Hindu
from- you are
God?
jumping
Do you
from
think
one
the
topic
Hindu
to
God?
another topic, you know, you
Habibi,
are-
wait. Do you think the Hindu God, Christian God, and the Muslim God they have the same attributes?
I believe that all of those religions have great wisdom we should respect.
See, once again, you don't answer the question. Do they have the same attributes?
All of the religions say contradictory
Why do you
things.
never answer the question?
All of those
What's
religions,
your problem?
all of those religions say contradictory things.
Okay, so if they have contradicted things, that means their understanding of God is contradictory to each other as well.
But they agree in many things as well.
Yeah, I didn't say there was no similarities because all
we should
religions.
respect
No,
them
no,
all.
all religions talk about
should respect
morality. But I gave you my question to you from the very beginning was about God. You still haven't answered the question.
I agree
He went
with
into
you.
maths.
I agree
He went
with you
which
that
part?
Islam is a great religion.
No, don't try to
And
just
also,
say
I agree
Islam
with
is a
you.
great religion.
I do agree.
I asked you
And
about
I
God.
agree that Muhammad is
One thing,
is to be respected.
You know,
He's a
look,
holy prophet.
I think you. I
And
think
he should be
generally.
respected.
Look. Generally,
And
I.
he should be
I
respected.
think
Do
you're.
you believe he's a prophet?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
No, but look, you seem like a nice person, but one thing.
My father has donated to a Sufi shrine, by the way.
Your father might have committed shirk
He
if
accepted
he did
him as
that.
prophet.
Okay.
My father donated.
Because-
we fund. My father for generations of my family have financed the Sufi shrine.
Okay. If I ask you about the Sufi shrine, that would be the answer.
generations
But my
my
question was
family.
about God.
Why you are
Let
not
me.
accepting truth then? You know, like the
Because you're
like
lying.
basic infanticide, female infanticide.
So you
class
might be a
system.
good person.
There
You
are
want to
problems,
spread
you know.
peace and harmony. But you see, you can never try to reconcile all religions under one umbrella.
I agree with you.
Okay?
Well, what's your solution
You heard,
here?
you heard about Deen
India?
Ilahi? Did you hear about Deen
India
Ilahi?
go back to the caste
So
system?
Akbar, you know,
You
Akbar
suggest
tried
that?
to do
By
that.
the way,
Akbar tried to unite all the religions,
Discrimination is
and his
wrong.
religion was a failure. It's called Deen
Discrimination.
Ilahi.
Okay, he's saying discrimination is wrong.
Discrimination is wrong.
Okay.
So
It's
caste system is
unjust.
ju-
It's
unjust.
unjust.
I agree. Yeah.
So,
But people specializing in jobs that they're good at, there's nothing wrong with that.
no, but that's your misunderstanding. You think Jati is only Varna. It's not.
So
You know, there's a
I
Kshatriya
agree
Jati.
with you that discrimination is wrong.
So there is
That's
this.
why
You
I
agree.
agree.
Good.
I
Alhamdulillah.
agree with
Finally
the Indian
agrees.
Constitution.
You agree, mashallah.
I
about
agree.
something.
Finally
I
agrees,
agree
yes.
Very
with the
good.
Indian
Because earlier it said
Constitution
only Varna.
that says you must
Slowly,
not
slowly, if you come,
discriminate.
you will-
You must not
he
discriminate.
agrees with
So if anything in the Hindu scriptures which discriminates based on the birth,
I
would you,
agree
would
that
you,
that's wrong.
would you
I
disagree
agree
with that?
that's
Good.
wrong, yes.
Now you see the difference,
Now see you
the
understand.
difference
And
between.
female infanticide
By the
is
way,
wrong as well.
I
Even if
agree
it's a
that
one
in
girl.
female
Even if it's a
infanticide,
one
yeah.
girl.
you know,
Let's
it
put
used
the
to.
argument forward, the discussion forward. He agrees now. So
Yeah,
where we
Alhamdulillah,
going?
finally agrees. But the thing is, you know, look, when we talk about caste system, which is still
Are we
much
talking about
prevalent
Indian politics
in
now?
India, No, we don't want to get into politics. That's another kettle of fish. So what we are saying is that there are discrimination, like you said, is wrong for anyone, and especially based on the birth, based on the family in which they are born. And this is the crux of the caste system, which they call the jati and not Varna. So there's the Kshatriya jati, there is the Brahmin jati, and the Brahmins have always taken the upper position. And they have discriminated everyone under them, especially the Shudras, especially the Dalits, especially the untouchable called the Chandals. And this is real in India. Okay, so you can't just brush it under the carpet.
Let me tell you one point, please. Can I say something?
I need to go
Why
for
they are
Maghreb.
Brahman? Why is a caste system? I'll tell you, okay? Because the Aryans are tall people. Indo-European people were Aryans, okay? The European race.
You're tall,
Okay,
yourself.
they came all the way from India,
Aryan?
from Afghanistan to India, okay?
You must
They
be Aryan.
were Brahmans. They called themselves Brahman because they were tall, white, those the Dravidians, the original Indians. The small, the south side Indians are original inhabitants of India.
Lived in
Okay, and
poverty.
they were all in,
That's
are
propaganda,
untouchable
my
and
friend.
all
No, it's not.
scheduled
Propaganda,
caste or
my
something
friend.
like that. It
My
is
friend,
reality.
it's propaganda.
But, some people,
Because you're
they get-
defaming your own ancestors.
It's reality.
And I
most-
honour my
most of the
ancestors. I
people
would
in
never
India-
insult them. The point that I'm trying to make is this: that I believe that our ancestors were very wise people, and they built a great country that was for 5,000 years the richest country in the world, till the East India Company came along and destroyed it, and they pitted everyone against everyone else. And they said, you people are only Hindus, and everyone else is
They
your
did that
enemy.
in Africa as well.
You people are only Muslims, everyone else
So
is your enemy.
you see,
And you people are Christians, everyone else is your enemy.
Sorry.
And we mustn't think like that. We are brothers and
They
sisters,
done that in Rwanda. in
including the
90s.
British. By the way, I believe the British
Rwanda
should never have
genocide.
left India. They made a big contribution. They shouldn't have left.
you wanted
At the
you
end of
want you
partition.
wanted to be a slave to the
No,
Brits.
no.
Seriously?
I believe that they made a great contribution, but they should have lived as equals. They should have lived as equals with
okay,
us,
okay. They
with
should
no
have-
discrimination. So the point I'm
If
trying
they-
to make is,
if they-
going back,
he should
going
literally
back.
No, but the thing is, look,
Going
the Hindus themselves did not
Brahmins,
consider
but
equality
going back
within
to
the society, and
discrimination.
Mahabharata is
Can I
one.
answer? Can I answer
Yeah,
this point?
but you.
Both of you
No,
make points.
but
Can I
hold on.
respond?
The important point, which you actually,
respond?
one thing you kept saying is propaganda when it's actually in the Hindu manuscripts themselves, in the Hindu scriptures. Do you take that back?
In the Bhagavad Gita that I read from the Upanishads, it says everybody's equal and to be loved as your equal.
I gave you
And
the.
there are no castes.
Says that
In the
in
Bhagavad
reality, it
Gita,
doesn't exist.
and the
In
Bhagavad
reality,
Gita
it's
says
not
there's
there.
no caste.
No, in
Well,
reality, it's not
okay.
there.
One second.
Okay,
So he's got a different version of that.
Yeah, that's why I said
No,
there's
no.
contradictory things
Like
in
you said, the
Vedas.
Upanishads are
I
not a
said
small
from the
book.
very beginning.
He only
the very
focused
first
on the
thing I
Bhagavad
said to him
Gita.
today is
The
there's
Bhagavad Gita is
contradictory
only a part, is a
But he
fraction.
accepts his contradiction.
No, hold on. The Bhagavad Gita, what he's doing is he's actually saying the Bhagavad Gita is the one he read. The Upanishads is
And some of
a,
the Upanishads, which
Can't
were
you let
amazing.
anyone talk without interrupting?
Look,
Stop
I'm trying
doing
to-
it.
Both of you
No,
spoke and you didn't
hold on.
let
Let me
you
finish.
respond.
I think you
I
responded
want to
enough.
respond to
So
both
let
of
me
your
tell you that
points.
the Upanishads and the Mahabharata are serious books taken seriously by the Hindus. They don't just chuck it under the bus because it goes against them.
He agrees with
Okay? And no, he doesn't actually. When I read the Upanishads and I gave it to him, he said that this is something that is. Here's a reference. If you want, check it out. It's called Chandogya Upanishads 5:10:7. So 5/10/7.
So what's your comment?
Okay. Now it says over there.
okay,
Now
I will
people.
research it. I will
Yeah, sure,
research
no
it.
problem. Research.
I will
Take a
photograph
picture of that.
Yeah.
And I'll give you Mahabharata as well.
Okay.
Actually, it's just below that.
Mahabharata is not. It's just regarded as a story.
Well,
it's not regarded
That
as.
is a story of Krishna. So don't just chuck it under the bus. Krishna to the
Okay,
Hindus.
But it is a story.
Everything in it.
It's a romantic story.
But everything in the Hindu
Epic.
scriptures are stories. The Upanishads, the Mahabharatas, the what do you say? All the scriptures they have, the Puranas.
Yeah,
all
but
these
when,
are
when
stories.
something is presented to me as a story, it's not represented to me as an injunction. You must do this. It's the law.
It's not-
It's
it's not-
presented
oh,
to me
okay.
as a story.
No, if it is a Shruti, then it is the law. That's why I said go and study, because you haven't studied this. I have. Shruti and Smriti are two different categories of the Hindu scriptures. If it's Shruti, it is law. If it is Smriti, then it can be changed. These are stories which come later on. And Manusmriti is from the stories, from the one which is considered Smriti. That's why it ends with Manusmriti. Yeah?
Yes.
And you know Dr. Ambedkar. Who was Dr. Ambedkar?
Scheduled
Dr.
caste leader.
Ambedkar was the guy who came up with the Constitution.
Absolutely. See, he's the one who penned the Constitution.
Yes.
And he tore up Manusmriti. Do you know why? Because he went from Hinduism and he changed to Brahmin. No, he became a Brahmin. Why would someone who's well educated in wait, let me finish. Why someone like Dr. Ambedkar, who's well educated in Hinduism, changes religion from Hinduism to Brahmin?
No, brother, not Brahman. You're mistaken.
Brother, I'm not mistaken. Hold on.
Can we come
Let me
back
finish.
to the-
Let me finish. You know why he changed religion? Because he realized that this caste system is so intertwined within Hinduism that he cannot get rid of it. He will forever, because he comes from the lower caste, he will forever be discriminated if he's a Hindu. But when he became a Brahmin, brother, wait. When he became a Brahmin, in Brahminism they don't have caste
No,
system.
brother, you are just mistaken. You can't. Brahman is born, from a Brahman family.
it's
you can't
inherited.
be
Yeah,
Brahman.
he can change.
No, you can't change. No, you can't change.
No, that is called Judaism. What you're
This is
talking about is
inherited.
Judaism. No, it's
No,
not.
Brahman.
Can I just come back?
Why don't you go and read it about
I
Dr.
read it, I
Ambedkar?
know.
Even the
He
classes,
became Christian.
No, he didn't
became Christian.
Can I come
He became a
back?
Brahmin.
Can I come back to this?
It's a
point?
bloodline.
Okay.
On the
The Brahman
Brahmin.
is a bloodline.
On the Brahmin.
He's saying it's a bloodline.
It's a
Sorry?
blood. You
He's
can't
not a
become-
Brahmin.
Do you know what-
That's
become
Judaism.
Brahman.
It's
Okay.
Judaism.
When it comes to the
He
Brahmin.
doesn't know about Brahminism.
Okay, when we come to the Brahmins,
That's not-
do you know what a Brahmin actually is?
I don't.
A Brahmin.
Sorry, he became a
Brahmin.
Buddhist, not Brahmin.
A Brahmin.
Did I say Brahmin?
A
Okay.
Brahmin.
What I meant, he became from a Hindu
Can you
to a
let me
Buddhist.
speak?
And Dr.
let me
Ambedkar
speak?
was a lower caste. He changed his religion from Hinduism
Can you-
to Buddhism. By mistake, if I said Brahmin, I meant Buddhism.
Can you let me
Buddhism.
answer?
You know, today thousands of people change their religion
Brahmin.
from Hinduism to either Muslim, to Christianity, to Buddhism
Yeah, people
because
change.
of the caste system. So don't tell me it's just Varna.
Okay.
Or-
Now,
or
getting
Korean.
back to your point about Brahmins, do you know what a Brahmin actually is? A
No,
Brahmin simply means, and it is a Varna term, not a caste term.
It is a caste
It
term.
means,
It's called
no,
Brahmin
it's not.
Jati.
No, no,
Go
it's
and look
not.
it up. You
No,
don't
it's
know
not.
this.
No, it's
You
not.
don't know this.
No, it's not.
Make your point, please.
A Brahmin, it means literally the Varna of the teacher. It means literally it means a school teacher. And all school teachers were automatically Brahmins across the whole of India. And when you stop being a school teacher, you stop being a Brahmin.
That's
That
not
is
true.
a fact.
That is not true.
That is
shall
a
I tell you?
fact.
Shall I tell you why that's
That
not
is
a
a
fact?
fact.
Okay,
That is a fact.
Can I respond to that?
And so
now-
this idea that Brahmins are discriminating against the other caste makes no sense,
wrong.
because it's like saying
absolutely
the
wrong.
school teacher,
Absolutely
the
wrong.
school teacher is discriminating against the students that is his job to go and teach.
Sorry,
It
mate,
doesn't
you are
make any
wrong again.
sense.
You are making
okay,
again.
now
You're
can I-
making
No
again.
now-
You're making
And it
again.
makes no sense whatsoever.
Can I respond to that?
This is where you've got
trying to- yeah,
propaganda.
Now you just,
This is
understand.
where you've got
Can I
propaganda.
respond to that?
now you
Okay,
started
brother,
to
let me respond to that.
it, you know.
Now let me respond without interrupting. He says the Brahmins are considered to be just teachers. Now listen to
School
this.
teachers,
There-
literally school
there-
teachers.
there is something-
is the meaning of a Brahmin.
There is something called the Brahmin Jati.
The first schools on
Will you
earth were
stop
established
interrupting?
in
Will you
India.
stop interrupting when I'm talking? I didn't interrupt
I
you.
barely get like one sentence.
I think you
in.
should go and watch video because you're the one talking the most.
I
here.
doubt it. I doubt that.
Okay,
I
you will-
seriously doubt
you-
it. If we do a word count, I bet you he gets 2 words in for every one of mine.
That is completely false. He probably got 3 words for every one of mine. In the Mahabharata,
let's go.
in the Mahabharata number 1327.
Okay, come in here. He says.
Really?
Hey, come here, don't worry. It's camera's right.
Why are you scared of the camera? You already covered your
got
face.
it covered.
Why are you so insecure?
Okay, what do you want to say?
Okay, anyway, because okay, so Mahabharata number 1327, it says
Yes.
no, the hierarchy of an untouchable is not a hierarchy. Don't
It
get me
is.
that.
What
Untouchable.
stops? Okay. What stops a
You
metal
see, you didn't let me
worker?
finish again.
Let me finish.
No, you didn't let me finish.
What
No,
stops a
let me
metal
finish.
worker? What stops a metal
me
worker
finish.
from moving to the next village and becoming a school teacher, which means he's a Brahmin?
It's got nothing to do with school
You
teacher.
don't have
That's
political
rubbish.
power based on these roles.
Brother, Brahmin is called a jati. Brahmin is, you can only become a Brahmin based on your lineage. Yeah. So if you read Mahabharata, if you let me get a word in between,
A jati literally means group.
jati means group.
Yes.
Okay. So
From
what?
Sanskrit.
Wait.
From Sanskrit.
So why do they call-
Jati is how it's pronounced,
Okay,
by
so-
the way.
How
Means
is-
group.
okay, how
That's
is
the
it-
literal meaning.
how
It
is
means
it-
group.
Okay, so a group of Brahmins. So what?
And jati basically means
How is
any
it-
group. So a regiment in an army is a jati.
No,
How
that's
was
not
it
true.
A
practiced?
regiment in an army is a
How
jati.
was it? How was it practiced?
And in fact, In the Maratha army, the Jatis were famous,
So my
which
question-
was the regimental system in
How
the
was it-
Jati
okay, how
army.
was
So you are the Brahmin Jati, you are the Kshatriya Jati,
Yes.
and you are the this is
It
what.
means group.
So this is not based on a Varna class, not based on the career. Thank you. It's
You're
not
going-
based on that.
Jati from Sanskrit just means group.
Yeah, so what? A group of people who are called Brahmins.
Doesn't mean
It's,
caste.
it's based on the
It
birth.
doesn't mean caste.
Okay.
How was it practiced?
Okay,
Caste is an English word.
now the Mahabharata, which he doesn't let me quote, he
How
keeps
was it-
interrupting.
How was this practiced?
Bro, listen to this.
Was it
It
practiced
says
by definition?
There was
says-
social mobility to go upwards and downwards. There was a
based on the
social
birth.
hierarchy.
A group based
The
on the
belief
birth.
of the society was the people who were to be respected the
was
most.
it based on the
Let me
birth?
finish.
Was it based on bloodline?
Birth,
No,
yes.
no, he
said
yes,
yes.
yes.
No, it wasn't.
I can prove it to you from the Mahabharata, number 1327. It says, Yudhishthira asked questions about how persons from the three lower castes can attain the status as Brahmins. Brishma answers them. He says Brahmin status is unobtainable for these castes in the same birth. Only through innumerable births they can hope to be a
That
Brahmin.
means your
So
son
that
and daughter
that
can have a
that
higher
completely
caste.
refutes him.
That means your
This
son
guy has
and
been
daughter
lying
can have
all
a higher
along.
caste.
He's been lying all along.
According to your
He said he's only
According to
teachers.
your
That is a
quote-
lie.
According to your quote, it means your son and daughter can be a Brahmin.
Yeah,
if you're an untouchable.
only if you're Brahmin.
Yeah, no. You, according to that quote, your son and daughter can be a Brahmin.
When?
If you're
When?
untouchable.
When?
Because through rebirth you can
Thank
change
you.
caste.
So not through the same birth. Rebirth means many rebirths. It says
Your
here.
son and daughter can do a different job.
And here is the rebirth.
That means the
Wait,
jobs
wait.
can change.
And
for
now-
your son and daughter. Exactly the point I made.
but
at
after the
beginning.
rebirth, after the rebirth.
very first point I
You
made.
forgot to mention the
You've
rebirth.
proven me right and you wrong.
No, you forgot to mention the
It
rebirth.
means your son and daughter can be the prime minister.
After the rebirth.
Your son and daughter can be a
After the
Brahmin.
rebirth.
If you're an
Which you
untouchable,
keep
your son and
ignoring.
daughter
Which
can
you
be a
keep
Brahmin.
ignoring. You know why you have been refuted again? From the Hindu
You've
scriptures.
just proven me right.
No, I
By
did
the
not.
way, by
From
the
the
way.
rebirths. Did you see that?
Proved you right.
It is from the rebirths they become. So when you become many rebirths, then you might become a Brahmin. Not in the same birth. Which is the reason he didn't want me to read the Mahabharata.
Listen. Listen. He's saying not in the same birth.
And I read it here as well.
If you're untouchable, your son and daughter can become a Brahmin
But
and
not
the
me.
prime minister.
Read the last statement here, brother.
But not me.
Brother, read this. Read,
You could have from your birth.
read the one I've highlighted. Read
So
it aloud.
everyone can from their birth.
Read it aloud. What does this say?
Everyone gets born.
What does
Everybody
it
gets born.
Only through innumerable births, which he didn't want to mention earlier. That is the reason I say he's lying. The Brahmins are not just based, they're teachers. Look at the way he like he said.
Through your birth.
My friend, you have been
Through
proven
your
to be
birth,
lying.
no.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't
Through your
mention that.
birth, through your birth, you can change your vocation.
Thank you. So you agree it's
From
based on-
birth you can.
So you agree it's not the same birth.
So long as you are
He's not a
apprenticed.
teacher.
So long as you are apprenticed.
Now
you
he's
can.
backtracking. Now he's backtracking. You have been exposed on the camera.
I haven't.
You should be.
You've
You
just
should be
said through
ashamed.
your birth you can change.
Only through innumerable births.
But who defines that? You define that yourself. Okay, the innumerable births are done. I'm going to change and be a Brahmin.
That's from the Mahabharata, not from me. It's from the Hindu
I
scriptures.
say myself, innumerable births are done. Now I'm a Brahmin.
Exactly. So you're
It
basing.
all depends on can I do it. I'm born.
So
I
he's-
go and try, do an apprenticeship with a
Oh, yeah,
Brahmin.
he's saying that.
Can I be a Brahmin? I'm a Brahmin.
After how many births?
I say the innumerable births are done with me.
Innumerable births. Did you see that? How would you
No,
know
but
which birth you're going to
No,
become?
he's claiming the immutable birth. He's claiming, he said,
No. Now
I
he's
can
backtracking.
decide.
Earlier he said they were just teachers. He's backtracked so many times. This guy flip flops. You know.
Brahmins
when he
were
finds
literally
when
school
when
teachers.
when I
That's the literal meaning of a Brahmin.
You know,
it's not an ethnic group.
speaking of school, I schooled you from the Mahabharata. That's why you retract. You lied.
My friend,
You lied.
our
You said
Brahmins-
they were only
our
teachers.
Brahmins-
They were only
I heard him
teachers.
say that.
Yes, Brahmins can be. Can the
I
Kshatriyas?
heard him say that.
Can the
Kshatris means warrior.
okay? Can they be school teachers? Because today you don't have war in
but
India.
listen,
Okay, can they be school teachers?
Can who be school
The
teachers?
Kshatriyas.
Yes.
Okay.
The sons and daughters can be.
So what is the uniqueness about the Brahmin being a school
There
teacher?
isn't being any uniqueness. That's the
Thank
point
you.
I'm making.
So Brahmin doesn't mean
saying
school
that, no, he's
teacher.
saying the
Thank
word-
you. You just proved yourself wrong.
What
Again.
we're saying
Oh
is
my
anybody
God.
can become a school teacher if they can do the job.
But you said they were called Brahmins, school teacher. Everyone who's a school teacher is called a Brahmin.
fact is-
That is
the
utter
fact is-
rubbish.
Just a theological
Utter
concept.
nonsense.
It's a theological
Yeah,
concept.
yeah, it's a theological question.
Okay, so
What
now
we're doing
that's
is,
theological
what we've
concept.
established anyway.
you know even the
is that
Kshatriyas.
there's a lot of
Wait,
propaganda.
even the
And there's a lot of
Kshatriyas.
misquoting.
Even the Kshatriyas, the caste. Wait. Brahmins, then come the Kshatriyas, and then come the Vaishyas.
Anyway, it's nice
the
to meet you.
Kshatriyas
Nice
and
to
the
meet you.
Vaishyas
I'll see you
cannot
next
become Brahmin. What's your name, by the way?
It's very late. It's
What's your
Bill.
name? Bill? Okay, my name is Hashim. Nice talking to you.
Nice talking.
Make sure you watch this on Dawah channel
Okay.
and see how many times you lied and how many
don't
times I
think I
caught
did.
you.
I don't
And
think you did.
I schooled you.
Everything
I'm not a Brahmin, but I schooled you. Okay, Jazakallah khair, brothers and sisters. You see, this is the difference between Islam and Hinduism. Hinduism, guys like him, they are born Hindus maybe, but then they left their religion.
I know it's-
They want to go about and say that, oh, I like Islam, I like bit of Christianity, bit of Buddhism, bit of Hinduism, and then they try to say, yes, look, I'm a great guy, I'm a good man. But then what they do is they actually push everything that the Hindus consider to be sacred and religious under the bus. And they do the same thing with the Buddhists and the Muslims and the Christians as well. They don't actually, they're not loyal to any of these. They pick and mix. And this is exactly what the Emperor Akbar did in India. He wanted to please everyone. So what he did, he picked a bit from every religion, and then he portrayed it as a new religion called Deen-e-Ilahi. What happened? That particular religion flopped. It was a waste of time, and everybody realized that this is nothing but his own whims and desires. Similarly, Bill here, yes, who considers that the British should have stayed in India, and I don't think anyone who is a proud Indian would ever say that. Yes, this guy is mentally colonized, and that's the reason he wants the Brits still to be in India. Of course they did good, but whom did they do good to? Whom did they lay out the railways for? It wasn't for the Indian people to be transported easily, it was for the goods to be transported all over India. So they can use the money of the Indians to become more rich. They colonize the country not for the sake of the Indians or to give them a better life. Yes, when the Mughals were there, and I'm not saying the Mughals were all perfect either, they had their bad habits and they had their bad history as well. But when they came there, they stayed there. Yes, they made that their country. They built monuments like the Taj Mahal, which India is still proud of, and India gets a lot of revenue from that. They get a lot of money on Mughal architecture, like the Qutub Minar, like the Taj Mahal, like the Red Fort. During every Independence Day, the Prime Minister, they go there and they unfurl the flag of India, and they're proud of it. They showcase their army over there in a Mughal architecture. Sorry, this particular building, the Red Fort, built by the Mughals as well. And they also get a lot of revenue from that throughout the year, just like the Taj Mahal and so on. So when the Mughals came to India, they stayed there. They made it that country. Like he said, it became the richest country in the world because of the Mughals. Yes? And this is what happens between, the difference between a colonialist and some people. You know, at that time, they did not have the United Nations. So they didn't have like a, what do you say, a state system like we do today. So every major king or emperor, they used to invade another country when they had lots of army or lots of money. And this was a norm at that time. Yes? So when you read about Ashoka, he conquered all the way to Afghanistan himself. How did that happen? Because he was a conqueror. He was, you know why Ashoka is called the greatest today in India? Because they acknowledge that he was a great emperor who expanded India greatly. And this is the reason he's on the coins in India. I think his statue, not himself, but the 4 lions which represent Ashoka's lions, and even the Ashoka pillar in India, which they're proud of as a national heritage. So they used to respect this. They didn't say that, oh, he killed thousands and millions of people, hence we're going to reject him. And by the way, Ashoka also changed from Hinduism to Buddhism, just like Dr. Ambedkar changed from Hinduism to Buddhism. And there are many flaws within that. They have the sati system, he says that's propaganda. It's not propaganda. What happened when Krishna died? His wife committed suicide. She jumped in fire. And this is in the books. When Krishna died, yes, Krishna, one of the gods, they can die as well. Yes, and this is what we know. You know, recently they made some Bollywood movies in, I think it's called Padmavat or something. And this queen, this Hindu queen, when she feared her life, she took part in something called Dawah, which is where they try to save their honor by jumping into fire. So jumping into fire is something which is quite predominant. Before the Brits came, actually it was the Brits, the colonialists, who stopped this evil practice of widows burning called sati and this Johar and whatever it is. It was the Brits who stopped this. So they did do some good, other than educating them and building railways and the postal system and the education system, which many of the Indians are still proud of, yes. So there are good things they have done, I'm not saying no. But to say that I wish the Brits had stayed in India and under the yoke of colonialism, I think this guy's lost it. He's probably a coconut, I think. Yes? who is brown from the outside and still white inside, you know? And I don't mean like this is something that he probably just learned in a day or so, something that has developed in his whole life. Yes, he has internalized it to such a level that he wants to remain both mentally colonized and also physically colonized. Yes, and this, you know, no one in India would want colonization, or anywhere in any country would want colonization. Nobody would, because colonization was evil. It was selfish. It was to actually bring money to Britain and to make Britain a great nation. They used to say that the sun never set in the British Empire. Look what happened today. It has set. Okay? So anyway, look, all I'm saying is that there are flaws in every single empire, every single dynasty. Nobody's perfect. But to use propaganda like the way he did, saying that the caste system is just something which is called Varna and is based on the vocation, is based on the career, the type of career they choose. No. When I showed him evidence from their own scriptures, Upanishads and the Mahabharatas, which existed before the Mughals came, before the British came, then it is not propaganda, it is in your own scriptures. If you want to throw that under the bus, that's your prerogative. But do not say that this is propaganda. It is pretty real. Go to India today. They don't even get married until they check what caste they belong to. They don't even get married until they look at the horoscope if they match. This is the amount of discrimination they have there. So there is a lot of discrimination in India, no doubt about it. To just push it under the carpet is not going to resolve anything. To solve the problem, you have to first acknowledge it, that there is definitely a problem with the different castes. Go to any look up any newspaper articles. You will, sorry, not articles, the matrimonials, the newspaper matrimonials, and you will see that they specify which caste they want to get married with, yes, and they specify that this has to be the same caste, yes, and this is not something which is optional. It is mandatory for the marriage even. So yes, caste system is pretty much alive. It's got nothing to do with occupation anymore, because I don't think there's only 4 occupations in India. If anybody says that, then they must be really silly to say. You can bunch them, group them under, but these different jati, they call them the Brahmin jati, the Kshatriya jati, the Vaishya jati, and the Shudra jati. And the Shudra are the lowest, that's why they call lower caste. The reason they had to actually write a constitution and have special clause for the protection of this lower caste speaks volumes. The reason is because they were indeed getting discriminated and still are getting discriminated in India. There's no doubt about this. And then there are people who are even beyond these 4 castes that they have, the 4 Varnas which they call. They're not even fit enough to be fitted into these 4 categories of society that they have used. They're called the Dalits and the Chandals, who are the untouchables. So if a Hindu touches them, especially a Brahmin, he'll go and take a shower, because they are so, I don't know, impure, unclean, and they will cast them as untouchables. Recently, there have been news articles in the Indian newspapers where a particular Dalit or someone who's an untouchable, who's a lower caste, he actually touched the pole which connects one of the idols. He didn't even touch the idol directly. He touched a pole which is keeping it standing, you know. And he, yes, I think it was a Shudra. And he was, I think it was a kid actually. His parents were punished something like 60,000 rupees as a punishment for touching the pole that connects the idol. This is the amount of discrimination there is. Yes, many of the women are actually raped and killed because they should know their place in society. That's what they were told. Yes, this was an article I read in Reuters which I wanted to bring up to him. We didn't want to indulge in that. So yes, acknowledge these different discriminations which are found in your own scriptures. Yes, including the Manusmriti, which I didn't mention with regards to caste system. But it actually gives you the rules of what a Kshatriya should do, what is the position of a caste, whether they should be touched or not, based on the lower caste or not. This is all mentioned in the scriptures. It's actually like a rule book. And that's called Manu's rule, this Manusmriti. And this is many Hindus consider to be a sacred book of theirs. And they respect it as religiously. There are, neo-Hindus like these guys, they wouldn't care about anything. They would, as soon as it disagrees with their modernist views, they will chuck it under the bus. So for them, they have no difference between a religious book or something which their own whims and desires agree or disagree with. So they always go with what their own whims and desires agree, rather than the scripture which the Hindus consider to be a religious book. There's a big difference between the two. One is your own opinion, the other is considered to be sacred and holy for many of the thousands and millions of Hindus who believe in the scriptures. With that, Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Don't forget to subscribe to Dawah and the other channels here as well. Jazakallah khairan.
MashaAllah.